Hello, everyone. Welcome to Teamwork Design, where we strive to design life from conversation to communication. I am your host, Terry Mera. So, now that you have come thus far, what is a major difference the way you projected what the design process and the building a business process before you started? And now that you are in the midst of it, what is the biggest difference?
Um, Taking my time, not rushing, actually putting things in practice as far as knowing how to get with clothes. You have to build out a spread, for lack of better words, right? So every stitch has to have its name. How do you want this folded? This is going to look like this. The measurements within it, knowing all of those steps and not just skipping through them. Hey, I wanted to look like that. All right, whatever you need to do, just do it. That's different than actually telling somebody, I wanted like 3 centimeters off the stitch because I needed to look like this, not like that. So that way, when you're dealing with manufacturers or wash houses or even designers, when you know that it gets to that point of having other designers, your what your vision is gets portrayed so that way they understand it, so that way it's not like telephone where you tell them something and then by the time it gets to the delivery, it's lost. It's totally different than what you originally said. No, it's understood from start to finish, so that way when you get it back, you're like, okay, this is perfect, this is exactly what I wanted. That's the difference, learning how to do that. Boy, that was a learning experience within itself. For the most part, if you go and yeah, they'll just take your money and say, "Oh, this is what you wanted. Okay, good. Here, now you have it." And you're like, "What is this? This is not what I asked for." Oh, but this is what you asked for. You asked for this, and they'll show you all the numbers and where it lines up. And now either you're gonna take that loss because you was just in it just for a quick money grab, or you're actually gonna learn the terminology so that way you can move forward and progress because that'll be your first blow. Now, what are you going to do? Are you going to pick up or are you going to run off?
Yeah.
Right. And that's also a self check. Like, okay, I could give him these things, but then will he trust himself enough to take the information, do the research, right? Like, okay, you gave me these great ideas, but what are these ideas? What do they look like? Now, if I go look and do the homework, which most people probably won't, just because it's human nature. If you're given a gym, you're going to take the gym and you're going to run and then learn afterwards. But, learning as you go and then getting it, it's totally different than it just being handed to you off rip. It's the mental battles too, right? Because every day doesn't mean that you're working at that very thing, right? Sometimes you need a day to process all the things that you've learned, all the things that you may have to tweak. Now you're taking in to digest it. That's a mental battle within itself because now you could beat yourself up, or you can just say, okay, what was this? Okay, what do I need to add or subtract? Because it may be too much of something that I don't need to be in, and maybe I need to just bring it back just a little bit and spruce it up, or you just may need to trash it altogether, start from scratch, and be okay with that.
What is your most emotional or mental challenge that you have faced when you tap it into this entrepreneurship of the path that you have chose to take in?
For me, is the being excited, right? Because I have a couple entrepreneur friends that are actually doing really good in their fields. One does, she's in the cosmetic field. Um, is eyebrows, but a lot more than just eyebrows. And then I have a friend that does artwork. She's really successful over there as well, and always reminded of you know accepting the little things, right? Because they become big things. Every little step becomes closer to the bigger picture. Um, So when I'm going through my moments of like, oh my God, I did it, or I did this, right? Because it may be a big thing, but to somebody else, it's like, oh, all right, I guess, okay, cool, But I have people in my circle that have actually accomplished stuff, so I don't necessarily feel 100% alone. I can
Okay, that's
refer to
good.
them and say, "Hey, look at this," and they're like, "Oh my God, that's so big!" And it's the understanding, not the placation of my emotion, but a true understanding of what it took to get to that point, regardless of how small it may sound to somebody outside, right? They understand because they went through it themselves. So I'm very lucky to have people surrounding me that are doing their own thing as well, but also understanding where I'm at and cheering me on every step of the way.
Oh, that's great. That's really
I'm
great
lucky.
support that you have.
Yeah, I'm lucky.